Good morning, dear students. Today I am going to explain you about the science class 7th question paper pattern. This is a class 7th science question paper pattern. Here we are conducting the midterm exam in 40 marks. So there are how many sections you can see? You can see there are 4 sections. Section A, Section B, Section C and Section D. In Section A, okay, you can see the Roman numbers. Okay, in Section A, there are various types of questions. They are multiple choice questions, fill in the blanks questions, give one word or the phrase, then very short answers. So all these type of questions, okay, these type of questions, Section A questions all carries 1 mark each. Okay, there are 4 1 mark multiple choice questions. So it carries 4 mark, 4 fill in the blanks, then 4 give one word or phrase, means they will give one sentence. Okay, related to that you have to write, you have to give one word you have to give. Then very short answer. Very short answer means you have to answer in 1 or 2 sentence or within 1 or 2 words, like that. Then in Section B, short answer questions will be there. There are 5 questions, each question carries 2 mark. So total 10 mark. Then in Section C, long answer questions will be there. Each question carries 3 mark. 3 mark, 3 questions, total 9 mark. In answer in detail, Section D, answer in detail questions will be there. Means you have to answer in paragraph. You have to write a paragraph or you have to explain it in detail or you have to draw any diagrams. So that question carries 5 mark. So there is 5 mark, 1 questions will be there. So total 40 marks. For the exam point of view, you have to study in the first chapter, nutrition in plants. You should study the process of photosynthesis. What do you mean by photosynthesis, and which are the process involved, which are the steps involved in the photosynthesis, and what is the role of sunlight, what is the role of water, what is the role of leaf. All these things you have to study. Then the product obtained by the photosynthesis, what is that product, and we may ask the give reason question. Okay, why only the green plants capable of preparing their own food? What is the reason? Or and there are different types of plants. Okay, the nutrition types we can see in plants. Which are they? Saprophytic nutrition, then total parasitic nutrition, then insectivorous plants, and then about the symbiotic relationship. All those things we have studied. So these are the types of nutrition in plants. So that you have to study. After that, then one more concept is there, photosynthesis. What is the importance of photosynthesis? Those things you have to study. And when you study the nutrition, types of nutrition in plants, study what do you mean by total parasite, what do you mean by partial parasite, what do you mean by symbionts, and study with the example, and why these insectivorous plants trap the insect, what is the reason. So give reason questions we will ask. Then what is the relationship, okay, how the nutrition cycle continues. So those things you should study. After that, in the second chapter, nutrition in animals. Okay, there are 2 types of nutrition process. Okay, how do we take the food? The process of taking the food, the process of taking the nutrition in the human beings is known as holozoic nutrition. Okay, because we take the nutrition in the form of liquid or in the form of solid. So that is holozoic nutrition. So what is the meaning of holozoic nutrition? Then What do you mean by herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores? That you should know. And which are the steps involved in the which are the steps involved in the nutrition process? There are 5 steps. Which are they? First is ingestion, digestion, then absorption, assimilation, and excretion. So these are the types in the these are the steps involved in the nutrition process. And how amoeba obtain, how the amoeba get its nutrition, the process of nutrition in amoeba, that you should study. After that, in human beings, the digestive system diagram you should study. Okay, you have already studied in your previous classes, so study the diagram, it may come. Or and function of the teeth. Okay, in the digestion process, so many steps involved and so many organs are involved, and each function of each part is different. The function of the mouth, buccal cavity, then esophagus, then stomach, what is the role of intestine, what is the role of um, bile juice, pancreatic juice, all these things you should study. And study the function of each part of the digestive system. Then part of the tooth. Okay, parts of teeth. Okay, which are the 4 types of teeth we can see, and what is the function of it, that you should study. And then the digestion in cattle. What do you call that cattle? We call it as ruminants, because it ruminates. Okay, whatever it, once it takes the food, that it bring back to the mouth and it chews. So that type of nutrition process we call it as rumination. Ruminants, the animals, we call it as ruminants. And there are 4 chambers are there in the stomach. Name that chambers, and how the nutrition process takes place, that you study in brief. Then in the chapter number animal fibers, okay, in the chapter number 3, animal fibers, you should study why we prefer the cotton clothes during the summer season, why do we prefer the woolen clothes during the winter season, and what do you mean by synthetic fibers, what do you mean by natural fibers, and why do we prefer the woolen clothes. Then the process, steps involved in the process of getting the woolen fibers, the production of woolen fibers, steps are there, no, that you should study. And what do you call each part? Okay, what do you mean by rearing, what do you mean by sharing, and what do you mean by weaving, knitting, all these things. Then what do you mean by sericulture, and what then life cycle of silk moth. Okay, the steps, how the production of silk fibers is obtained, how the production of silk fibers is done, that you should study. After that, then okay, the steps involved in the production of silk fibers. Then what are the diseases, okay, what are the problems gone through by these workers who are working in the sericulture industry. Okay, what are the problems faced by the workers working in the sericulture industry. So those diseases and their problems that you should study. Then why do we prefer, as I told, why do we prefer the woolen clothes during the winter season, and why do we prefer the cotton clothes during the summer, that reason you should study. After that, in the chapter heat and its effects, okay, there you should study heat is a form of energy. Then what is the condition in order to transfer the heat? Okay, the condition for transferring the heat from one object to another is there should be close connection between the 2 objects, and the temperature difference should be there. So that is the condition. Then what happens when we supply the heat to the solids, to the liquid and to the gaseous material? How the molecules, okay, what happens in the solids? What happens? They expand. When we supply the heat to the object, it expands, and we can see, we can come across so many applications because of this expansion and contraction of the object, because of the supply of heat. Then we have studied about thermometer. Okay, temperature is a measure. It's a measure to come to in order to come to know what is the degree of heat, how much it is hot. It is a measure of how much it is hot or cold. We come to know, by using the thermometer, we come to know that how much the object is hot or how much it is cold. It measures the degree of temperature, degree of hotness or the coldness of the object. Then we use thermometer in order to measure the hotness or the coldness of the object. And we can see three types of thermometer. So what is the unit of what is the SI unit of thermometer? What is the which scale we use to measure the temperature in India? What is the SI unit of temperature? What is the SI unit of temperature? Then which temperature scale we use in India? And which is the three types of temperature scale? One is Fahrenheit, Celsius scale, and another one is Kelvin scale. And Kelvin scale is the SI unit of temperature. Then three types of temperature, three types of thermometer we can use. One is clinical thermometer, second one is laboratory thermometer, third one is digital thermometer. And what is the difference between clinical and laboratory thermometer? In clinical thermometer there is a kink. Okay, what do you mean by kink? If consider it is a thermometer, okay, there is small bend is there, okay, one small loop is there, so that is a kink. And which liquid is used in the thermometer? We commonly use mercury as a liquid in the thermometer. Okay, inside the thermometer there is mercury. So by expansion of the, on which principle thermometer works? On the principle of expansion of the solids, expansion of liquid during heating and contraction during cooling. So okay, based on that principle, based on the principle of expansion of liquids on heating, okay, based on that principle thermometer works. Then three types of thermometer, and it's okay, what is the difference between clinical thermometer and laboratory thermometer? That you study. And why do we prefer? And give reason question may come. Okay, commonly we use thermometer which is having the liquid mercury, but in a cold region, in the cold places, we use a thermometer which is having the alcohol. So why do we prefer alcohol thermometer in the cold places? What is the reason? That type of questions may come. You should study. After that, in the next chapter, transfer of heat, we have studied the method of transferring the heat. Which are the three methods? One is conduction, another one is convection, and third one is radiation. Okay, we can transfer the heat from one object to another by these methods. One is conduction, second one is convection, third one is radiation. In conduction process, what we do? We Okay, there should be close connection between two objects and the temperature of two objects must be different. So whenever the temperature is different and whenever they are close to each other, we can transfer the heat from one object to another. And what is the meaning of conductors, what is the meaning of insulators, and what is the application of conductors, application of insulators, and then the next process of transferring the conduction we mainly use in the solid. Okay, when we transfer the heat from solid to another material, we prefer the conduction method, and the conduction process is very slow in case of liquid and gases because the particles are little far away from each other. That is why it is difficult to transfer the heat from liquid to liquid. And convection process, what do you mean by convection, what is the meaning of convection current, and where do we see this convection current in our daily life, and application of convection current, that you should study. After that, radiation, what do you mean by radiation, and what are the conditions required to transfer the heat through radiation. Okay, and what is the difference between conduction, convection and radiation, and how thermos works, and what are the application of radiation. Okay, in the closed room, a ventilator system will be there. So how it works, based on which principle it works. Okay, based on which scientific fact ventilator system is used in the house. Okay, all those things we should study. Then study the difference between the conduction, convection and radiation. Then difference between autotrophs and heterotrophs. Then functions of tooth. Then 5 process involved in the nutrition in human beings or in the animals. Okay, then digestive system diagram, all those things you should study. Thank you, students.